And now let's go ahead and take a look at our Corona, Tale of the Tape Corona, who invites you to find your beach as we go ahead and see the numbers there for this matchup between Alejandro Salinas and Duarn Vue. As you see, a 9-year age disparity, as Duarn Vue is 9 years older than him, but the height advantage and the reach squarely in the favor of Alejandro Popo Salinas. Ladies and gentlemen, live on FS1 from Las Vegas, Nevada, Premier Boxing Champions now features 8 rounds in the junior lightweight division. The 3 judges ringside are Tim Cheatham, Patricia Morse-Jarman, and Ricardo Ocasio. And the referee in charge, when the bell sounds, Robert Byrd. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red with the gold trim. As a professional, 8 wins, all of those coming by way of knockout against 1 blemish. Fighting out of Youngstown, Ohio, here is Alejandro Popo Salinas. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. He comes in wearing the black with the red trim. As a professional, he's undefeated, 12 wins, 4 of those coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Madison, Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen, this is Duarn the Storm Vue. Robert Byrd, a referee in charge. Duarn Vue, undefeated, 12-0. Compared to that of Alejandro Salinas, who is 8-1, 22 years of age. Battle between 2 fighters who are looking to make a statement here tonight in Las Vegas. Ray Flores, Robert Guerrero, and a big right hand that backs up Duarn Vue, and they immediately start trading and swinging for the fences.
This fight is definitely going to end in a knockout by the way that they're starting out.
Yeah, they need to get to work. No hesitation at all.
There is a reason why we call it toe-to-toe Tuesdays, and both fighters, Salinas and Vue, are emblematic of exactly that.
You know, but I like Salinas, how he's moving right now. He looks really calm. He looks like he knows exactly what he's doing. Where against Vue, he just looks like he's just going in there and throwing all kinds of shots.
Yeah, he looks really composed in there.
Alejandro Salinas is trained by Jack Lowe, who was in the corner of Kelly Pavlak, who is also a Youngstown product. Pavlak having won a world championship. And Jack Lowe told us that he is so impressed by the maturation of Alejandro Salinas. He met Salinas when he was 8 years old, so they've been together for 14 years. Lowe says that Salinas has knockout power in both hands.
Yeah, he looks very composed right now. He's starting to he wants to set everything up. His Vue's just putting pressure and throwing just a variety of punches.
Duarn Vue, fighting out of Madison, Wisconsin. Trains under Murid Muhammad, and a big right hand that lands over the top for Vue, but he ate a straight right hand in the process.
You know, I think it's only a matter of time before Vue gets caught with something big. Well, he's landing a little bit too, but I think he's receiving the harder shots, in my opinion.
And Alejandro Salinas' nickname is Popo. When I asked him about the nickname, I thought it was a tribute to Acelino Freitas, who is the greatest boxer to come out of Brazil, the 2-division world champion. He said it was a nickname that his family gave him, but if he continues to fight like this, he can certainly follow in those footsteps of Acelino Popo Freitas.
Yeah, Freitas used to box a little more and use his legs, where he used to set everything up and land those big punches. I was on his undercard a few times, coming up, fighting 4- and 6-rounders, and, you know, watching him fight is amazing.
And watching these 2 young fighters compete in a left hook, and you can see that the face of Vue is reddened from those right crosses that he has taken, and another big right hand on the temple of Vue, and Vue continues to come forward trying to smother Salinas, and he eats a couple of right crosses, and he shakes up Vue, but Vue throws a left hook of his own. This is action-packed. They're fighting in a phone booth.
Yeah, this is a brutal fight, but I just don't want to see both these fighters punch themselves out, because they're throwing extremely hard punches. Actually, every punch is a power shot. So maybe both of them need to calm down. Be a little bit more relaxed and look for Look for cleaner shots and just power shots.
And a left hook punctuating for Duarn Vue as we end the first round. For more on the journey of Duarn Vue, here's Jordan Hardy.
Ray, thank you. Vue lives in Wisconsin today, but the journey there was not easy. His family began their passage to the U.S. sometime after the Vietnam War, and when Vue was just 8 months old, his parents had to escape to the jungle to get to Thailand. And during that journey, his parents were asked to leave Vue behind because he was a risk. He actually told us that they asked his mother to leave him behind because he was a risk, so she would have to bring him away from the group to keep him from attracting noise, but eventually they made it to Thailand and stayed there for a few years before making their way to the U.S. He said his parents' sacrifices are what drive him today, and that he wouldn't be here without them. So we'll see if he's able to step back up in this round, the second round. Ray, back to you.
Thank you very much, Jordan. What a journey for Duarn Vue. He has lived in Madison, Wisconsin since he was 3 years old, but what a journey. And Vue told us in the fighter meetings he was expecting a brutal fight. And my eyes lit up as to say, my goodness, this young man knows what he's getting himself into.
Oh, yes. That's what he was talking about. He's coming for a brutal fight. We asked him for a prediction. He said brutal fight. And it started out at that, right out the first bell.
You know, and for Salinas,
punch it out. There you go.
To be honest, he reminds me of a young Diego Corrales. You know, when I used to watch him fight, and you would just stay in there and just, you know, brawl with these dudes, and that makes for a fan favorite fighter. You know, I would definitely love to see another Salinas fight, but right now he has a tough time against Vue.
And Alejandro Salinas has an 89% knockout percentage, a right hand that smacked right into the left side of the head of Duarn Vue, but Vue continues to move forward. It's almost like Vue knew that he had to come in and eat some heavy punches in order to get this victory. He was quite honest with us as to say, I got to get on the inside. I know I'm going to eat some punches, but you know what? That's what it is. And a big right hand that shook him up momentarily.
Oh, yeah, especially having the shorter arms, being the shorter fighter. He wants to be on the inside, landing those big overhands and the body shots. But what he needs to do, he needs to keep his hands up when he's on the inside. Bob and weave, use movement with his head because he's getting countered with shots also, and those are some power shots he's getting hit with also.
Coming up on the midway point of the second round.
You know, I would like to see Vue work on the body a little bit more. You know, I feel like he's not had as much success up to the head, so now it's time to go down to the body.
Alejandro Salinas, not only did he learn quite a bit training in the gym as a youngster under Kelly Pavlik, but also Jack Lowe informed us that Ray Boom Boom Mancini, who's a former world champion and into the Boxing Hall of Fame, that he comes in and will watch Alejandro Salinas work as well.
Oh, yeah, that's inspiring to see somebody like Boom Boom Mancini come in. I used to get inspired when I used to see Bobby Chacon come in wild card down in Los Angeles, and it used to excite me to see him because I used to watch a film on him, and being one of my father's favorite fighters, you know, he used to pump me up, made me want to work hard in the gym.
Alejandro Salinas, there is quite a bit of excitement with him in Youngstown, and a right hand that backed up Vue.
Yeah, it looks like Vue's getting a little mouse under his left eye.
He's being tattooed with some big straight right hands down the middle from Alejandro Salinas.
Salinas been landing that right hook.
And now some blood that we are seeing. It is reddening the face of Vue from those straight right hands. And you can just tell that Salinas gets a lot of leverage behind his shots as we are approaching the final moments of the second round. And a right hand again. Alejandro Salinas and Duarn Vue. They are slugging it out here on Toe-to-Toe Tuesdays. Here is some of the work. We'll come back with more PBC on FS1. Round 3, this one is scheduled for 8 here. Alejandro Salinas and Duarn Vue.
I like to see Vue get in there and throw some more body shots when he's on the inside. So far, a lot of it's been just bombs to the top, overhands, overhand right, overhand left. So I want to see him go to the body more when he's on the inside.
Well, Duarn Vue is no stranger to going into deep waters. He's been to full 8 rounds once. That was back in 2016, and he's been 12 rounds on a couple of occasions as well as Duarn Vue.
know, it looks like Salinas has found a home for that right hook. Every time he throws it, it looks like he's landing it. You know, I think he should set it up, you know, with maybe a left hook to the body and then come back with the right hook to the head. And I think that would be a good night for Vue.
Yeah, it's almost like a right hook overhand, like in between.
Salinas trying to maintain his distance, but Duarn Vue is not to be deterred. Minute has elapsed in the third.
And I think he hurt him with the right hook to the body, definitely right hook to the head. I think he should go back down to the body more.
So heavy right hand by Alejandro Salinas.
Yeah, Vue keeps walking into that right hand.
And Vue is getting lit up around the ring. And my goodness, we're seeing some of bloodied is Duarn Vue, but he just continues. He has this raging intensity, does Duarn Vue.
Oh yeah, gets it from his mother. His mother wouldn't give up on him. I don't think he's giving up this fight either.
For his mom to say, I'm not going to leave my son in the jungle and bounce away from the pack, as Jordan Hardy told us, that is one remarkable story. 65 seconds left in the third. Let's not kid ourselves. Alejandro Salinas comes from the proud steel city of Youngstown, Ohio.
Got a cut, right eye punch.
Salinas used to work full-time at a steel mill before he was able to fight professionally. He had aspirations of going ahead and turning pro early when he was 18, but Jack Lewis' trainer said, you can go ahead and turn pro 1 year following your 18th birthday. Train with me a year fully as a pro, and then you can turn pro. So he trained like a pro, and Jack Lowe said at 19 he was able, and he allowed him to turn pro, and the rest has been history since that point.
Yeah, that's a smart move by Jack. You know, get him all his cobwebs off, get him back going in the gym, get him loose, get him firing his combinations, sparring, everything to get him ready to make that debut.
10 seconds remaining in the third round. Alejandro Salinas and Duarn Vue. Vue is continuing to try to fight hard, but Salinas backs him up with right hands, and we will resume the action with PBC on FS1 from Las Vegas.
He's getting in there, but every time he lands his shots, Vue keeps his hands down.
It's like he's not sure of what he wants to throw. When he gets the opportunity, he just gets stuck and he's thinking too much. Right now, it kind of looks like a killer, so I want to see what he brings out to this round.
Look at that facial expression. He knows he's in a battle. Is Duarn Vue, and Alejandro Salinas has thrown everything in the kitchen sink at him, but Jack Lowe told us he expects a knockout in the middle rounds is what he was anticipating out of his young 22-year-old.
The one thing Salinas is doing is staying very composed every time during the exchanges. That's why he's able to land his shots really nice, where Vue's really anxious and he wants to throw these big punches, but they're not landing because when you force a punch, right, David, most of the time it doesn't land.
Yeah, exactly. When you try too hard to land a punch, you know, really doesn't push. You have to stay relaxed. You know, that punch has to really come out on its own. But Salinas does look really comfortable right now.
When Duarn Vue is the opposite, guys, as he's very tense, and when he comes in, he throws with quite a bit of emotion, but he does not have proper leverage behind it compared to that of Salinas.
You know, but
let's go, Red.
Vue right now, he looks like he's working. You know, he's more motivated than ever. He doesn't. He's pushed it more this round, and that's I like what I'm seeing with Vue right now.
Yeah, he came out with that face, ready to go.
Yeah.
And now Salinas uses jab, but ducking underneath and trying to whack Salinas is Vue. 100 seconds remaining in the fourth.
Yeah, Vue needs every time he makes his move, he needs to let something go because he bobs and weaves, gets on the inside, but he'll throw one punch or he'll take his time and hesitate. And by that time, Salinas comes back and lands a big power shot.
It's almost like letting him off the hook.
Yes, like letting him off the hook.
What I feel that Salinas has to do is go to that left side of the body. I'm seeing it very open for Vue, so Salinas needs to touch that body a little bit. See the reaction it gets to him.
And let's be honest, guys, with Duarn Vue, in terms of his family's journey, it is going to take quite a bit to put him out, meaning touching him to the chin. We have seen that he has a very strong chin, so therefore, David, as you mentioned, it is Salinas who should be focusing in and
Watch your head, watch your head.
Yeah, he almost got like a sparring attitude where I'm going to go out on my shoes.
You know, that's it's a little bit
get
of
out.
adversity
Punch it out.
Salinas has to overcome right now because he's hit him with everything that he has. And, you know, Vue is still in there fighting, and he's fighting hard. So, you know, he has to do a couple different things that he hasn't done in this fight.
One fight that I can remember with you, David, is when you were fighting Helio Porky Medina. Granted, yes, you did get him out of there, but you hit him with some heavy shots early on. That was back in May, and a big right hand that landed there by Salinas.
Yeah, you know, I hit him with everything I had. You know, I felt like there was something different that I had to do because if I kept hitting to the head, he wasn't going to go down. You know, so I touched the body and got him out there with a, you know, some nice 7-punch combo.
Yeah, it looked like that guy's head was a speed bag.
That's what it felt like in the ring, too.
We are nearing the final moments of the fourth round. We're halfway home. PBC on FS1, as you see Jack Lowe instructing to Alejandro Salinas, and it's interesting that fighting is in the blood of the Salinas family, as Salinas' father used to be a street fighter in Puerto Rico. And our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by all of the natural disasters happening in Mexico, in Texas, in Florida, and in Puerto Rico. Salinas said his family thankfully lives on a hill and they are okay, but our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone that are affected by all of these natural disasters.
Yes, it's heartbreaking to see what's going on around the world right now.
Give it go.
Vue came out again with that face, ready to go. He's picking it up.
See, that says a lot about Vue, what type of fighter he is. He has a lot of heart, you know, because in the first couple rounds, I thought he was going to get knocked out, and now he's fighting harder than ever.
Big right hand, and Vue didn't like that whatsoever, followed by a left hook.
See,
Vue momentarily was stopped in his tracks.
and that's because he went down to the body, something that he hasn't done this whole fight. I suggest that he goes down, keeps going down to the body, digging the left and the right side, and I think he'll get him out of there.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about in the fourth round. You wanted to see him go to the body, and he went to the body nice right now. But like you said earlier, if he goes to the body and brings it right back to the head, kind of how you do with that double hook body head, it does a lot of damage.
Yeah, he would get him out of there for sure.
And Alejandro Salinas, with him fighting here on national television, he wants to erase the stench that he suffered in a big shot there by Salinas.
Vue has that kill or be killed attitude, and he comes strong.
He is getting hurt, but it is not a one-sided landslide. So it's not like the corner Murid Muhammad can say, okay, my fighter is not defending himself intelligently, because it is Vue who is still looking good enough to maintain himself in the fight.
Yeah, it looks like he's not wearing down at all. And, you know, he just keeps coming forward. He just needs to be a little tighter on his defense, throw a lot more punches, and stay on the inside.
No, I feel like he also needs to use a little bit more head movement coming in, because when he comes in, he's just coming in straight up, and then that's why he always gets caught with that right hook. So maybe a little bit more head movement, you know, maybe a little bit more boxing, move to the side a little bit.
Kind of like that Mike Tyson approach where he kind of dips in and kind of moves from side to side, uses angles, and comes on the inside, left hook that buzzed Duarn Vue.
Yeah, I think Salinas got to cut over his eye now.
Left hook that backed up Vue momentarily, but Vue puts his foot on the gas and accelerates forward. This hasn't been an easy fight either for Alejandro Salinas. He has given quite a bit, but Duarn Vue is giving some shots in the inside as well.
Yeah, we got a guy that keeps coming. Sometimes it starts to wear you down. And throwing power shots, as many power shots as Salinas thrown, you know, it starts to wear you down, and Vue just keeps coming and coming.
And I feel like every shot he's thrown is a power shot, so I wonder how he feels right now.
Welcome back to PBC on FS1 in the corner of Alejandro Salinas. He is dealing with a cut above his right eye. Robert, you pointed it out, it's like the diagonal cut.
Yeah, when it cuts down like that, straight down, it starts to drain straight into your eyes, so it could be blurring his vision. It might be good for Vue, you know, where he starts putting that pressure and starts landing shots.
I mean, the amount of intensity, the raging intensity that Duarn Vue has displayed has been the same from the first round compared to that of the sixth here.
What's that kill or be killed attitude? Come, put pressure and throw those punches. Like he said, it was going to be a war, a brutal fight, and so far it's been a brutal fight for both of them.
You know, and it might be killing a little bit of Salinas' confidence as well. You know, he lands everything he lands, and then right before Vue comes out, he has that face like nothing's happened to him. He's not hurt about nothing. So, you know, I feel like the heart and the will is there, but, you know, the skill is, you know, it's not so much there for Vue.
Alejandro Salinas has been 8 rounds just once, and he is likely headed, if he's unable to block Duarn Vue, for another lengthy evening here, but he's coming forward again. And Salinas informed us his best punch is a left hook, and he landed it right there on the body of Duarn Vue.
Yeah, out of his 8 fights, he's had 8 knockouts, you know, out of his 8 wins. So I really think Salinas needs to relax a little more, the way he's composed, but just let his punches fly and not throw so many power shots, because if he sets it up right, he has enough power to light him up and put him out.
100 seconds left in the 6th round, and David, you're used to putting away your opponents rather quickly. You had to go the full 12 rounds against Ronald Gavril, where you captured the WBC Super Middleweight Championship. How did you adjust in that 9th, 10th, and 11th round when you realized this guy is not going away anytime soon?
You know, I started to box a little bit more. I started to land smarter shots, but, you know, I still kept the pressure on him a little bit, you know, only because I did want to knock him out, and I did want to give the fans a knockout. You know, but sometimes these guys just aren't going to fall, you know, and that's what I've learned. That's what this fight taught me. That not everybody's going to fall, but, you know, we're still going to work on that, get a little bit more power in the gym.
Well, I think the same can be said about Alejandro Salinas fighting Duarn Vue. I'm sure he realizes this guy's not going to fall anytime soon, because I've hit him with everything in the kitchen sink.
That's what I felt when I fought Canada. Especially at the Stub Hub where it's live, you got the crowd going crazy. He just kept coming. I just kept hitting combination after combination, and he wouldn't stop.
And that's one thing too that helps me. You know, if I feel like I can't get the knockout and the crowd is still going behind me, that's kind of what gives me that push. That, you know what, I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna knock this dude out every round, the next round. You know, so the crowd can sometimes help you when they help you during the fight.
Alejandro Salinas, 8-1, undefeated is Duarn Vue. His record is perfect. Final stages of the 6th round. Alejandro Salinas and Duarn Vue continuing to let the leather fly here in Las Vegas.
That's all.
And there, once again, we are in the corner of Alejandro Salinas.
Can't
Here
give
we
away a
see
goddamn
Marco
inch on
Medano
this kid.
and David Benavidez' scorecard. They have Salinas on top, 59-55. And now we will send it over to the 4th member of our broadcast team, Jordan Harding.
Thanks, Ray. You know, you guys have him up, but his corner is acting like he's down. I'm over here right now, and I'm hearing them say things like, you're letting it go. We want more from you. Come together now. You need these rounds. Dig deep. So they're kind of treating it as that he's behind, and they want him to step it up. They want him to go to the body a lot more and then finish it up top. They're not too worried about that cut. It doesn't seem to be bothering him, but they are expecting a lot more from Salinas. Ray, back to you.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Do you guys go ahead and agree with that mindset that is being told to Alejandro Salinas from his trainer, Jack Lowe?
Oh, yes. You don't want him to go into cruise mode. You want him to stay on it. Keep winning every round, because Vue's coming to fight, and he keeps putting that pressure, and you can steal rounds by putting pressure.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, sometimes you kind of get that urge, you know, if you feel like you're losing, you feel like you need that urge to come back and score something big. So that definitely worked in their favor as well. But Salinas, I feel like he's getting a little bit too comfortable in these last rounds, and he's getting caught with punches he shouldn't be getting caught with. So he needs to be really careful.
David, he just got caught with a leaping left hook. That was the best punch of the fight for Duarn Vue. And you see the confidence is starting to escalate for the undefeated Madison, Wisconsin native.
Yeah, and in my opinion, the Vue has more confidence right now than Salinas. You know, he's landing more shots. He's more aggressive right now. But I feel that Salinas has won the whole fight, but he needs to be very careful these last rounds.
Yeah, especially he has that cut now. Vue got an urge of energy to come in. You know, the fight could get stopped on the cut.
So he just got caught again with another leaping left hook.
That fatigue might be setting in also. He might not have as much steam on his punches, because every punch he throws is a fastball.
Vue continues to try to find a way to get on the inside of Alejandro Salinas. He gets backed up, and now they continue to trade in the center of the ring. Look at this, as Salinas is throwing heavy power punches, and Vue throws a right hand of his own.
See, and that's one thing I feel like Salinas needs to learn a little bit. Just in the beginning of the fight, not throw all your power in the beginning of the fight. You know, just throw taps find the rangefinder to see where your guy's at, and then let the hard shots go. You know, when you're sure of it, because right now he seems really fatigued to me.
Duarn Vue continues to bring up his glove, and I think that trickles of blood are getting into his left eye and his right eye. He has taken some big power shots during the course of this matchup, but he still keeps coming forward. Right hand backing up Duarn Vue. His nickname is Storm, and he's trying to rain on the parade of Alejandro Salinas.
Yeah, both of you guys are making some amazing shots. It's a really good round so far.
Yeah, well, he's coming like a storm, all right. He's landing a lot of big overhands in there.
Now the left side of the face of Alejandro Salinas is reddening from those left hooks. Duarn Vue and Alejandro Salinas, you gotta love matchups like this.
Yeah, for Salinas 8-1 with 8 knockouts, you know, you want to come out and knock everybody out. You start getting that puncher's mentality where you want to just land one big shot and knock somebody out. Where this is where your experience has to come in and learn how to change directions and be able to, you know, use your jab, box, sidestep, and change up, you know, your game plans.
One more round remaining between Duarn Vue and Alejandro Salinas. This in the junior lightweight division. We'll come back with the 8th and final round. You're watching PBC on FS1. Welcome back to PBC on FS1. Marin Mohammed there in the corner of Duarn Vue.
Right here. You gotta make it listen and make him pay. Come right back. Okay, let's go.
Motivated him, getting him pumped up. Whatever he's telling him, he starts getting fired up in that corner.
Well, Marin Mohammed is a father figure to Duarn Vue. They said that he was invited to Duarn Vue's house, and Duarn Vue is a monk, and they actually had a ceremony in the monk community that ceremonially they made Marin Mohammed his father in the monk community. So they certainly have a father-son relationship, Duarn Vue and Marin Mohammed.
Yeah. When he comes out strong. Every round, it seems like he gets a burst of energy and comes out and starts putting that pressure and firing shots.
Yeah, I just feel like Vue needs to stay in there and get his shots off a little bit more, because like every time he comes out, he takes a step out, gives Popo that distance, he doesn't do as good.
Yeah, and that's where he's able to get leverage on his punches. I think he needs to just keep walking him down, put that pressure, keep coming forward.
And there is how Robert get in. David Benavides have the fight scored 68-65 in favor of Alejandro Salinas. 1 minute has elapsed in this 8th round. Don't forget to join us on social media. Use the hashtag PBC on FS1. Again, use the hashtag on social media, PBC on FS1. Also follow us at Premier Boxing and also at FS1. The main event still to come. Left hook coming in was Vue, but he barely missed Salinas.
Yeah, Vue walked right into an uppercut. Right before that. He needs to keep putting that pressure.
See, I would love to see both these fighters go a lot more rounds on the body, because both of them are tired right now in that body shot. Just set it off.
Big right hand that landed for Duarn Vue, and in spurts, Duarn Vue has found a mark and has found its destination with jumping left hooks, followed by right hands, especially in the 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah, Vue needs to let it all go. You know, you got a minute left. Let it all hang out and just throw everything you got, especially being behind.
You know, and Vue's having so much success because Salinas is just walking in. He's not finding that range. He's just walking in, trying to land his own big power shot. That's why he's getting power shots himself.
Alejandro Salinas must be thinking he's back at work, his old job in the steel mill, because he's hitting Duarn Vue. He's not moving much like a piece of steel. My goodness, what an effort by Duarn Vue, and Alejandro Salinas has given his best as well.
Yeah, he's coming in like a blacksmith worker, working with steel, and he's hammering them down. So, you know, he's throwing a lot of power shots. He's dropping the hammer.
But I respect both these fighters because they're all putting it on the line right now. You know, they both feel like it could go either way. So both these fighters are trying to take it.
Yeah, they're both letting it hang out and giving it all they got.
Extremely symbolic of why we call this toe-to-toe Tuesdays. Duarn Vue and Alejandro Salinas have gone at it here in Las Vegas.
That's all.
A terrific matchup, and both men showing a wonderful sign of respect for one another. We will come PBC on FS1. Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we go to the scorecards. Here are your score totals. Judge at ringside, Ricardo Ocasio scores the bout 80-72. Tim Cheatham 79-73, and Patricia Morse-Jarman 77-75. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Alejandro Salinas. He improves his record to 9-1. It wasn't easy tonight for the Youngstown native.